Hi, it's Christy, and this is my first video blog of, well, ever. But also, first one of 2022. Today is Monday, January 3rd, and yeah, I have decided that I'm going to try to start doing some vlogs, video blogs. So yeah, here's the first one. I don't even know what these will be about, really. I mean, we'll see as time goes on. Today I thought it might be fun to give a little bit of a wrap up of 2021 and then talk a little bit about my goals for 2022. So 2021 was a weird year, I think, for a lot of people. Obviously 2022 was we're not going to talk about that. 2021 was interesting because I feel like I went into 2021 like this is going to be a new start. The thing that we're not going to talk about is going to go away. We're being vaccinated. We're good. And then 2021 said no. So that's still going on, which I'm not happy about. I've talked. I don't think I've really talked about it in my videos, but I have written blogs and things about. I have an anxiety disorder, and one of my major triggers is health. So you can imagine it's been a little bit difficult for me with all of the things going on. But I actually, even with that said, I will say I did way better than I would have expected, both in 2020 and last year in 2021. I was able to weather it okay. There was definitely some stress around the whole situation, not gonna lie. Definitely some, I remember April 13th, 2021, and my mom's birthday, so I went over to her apartment to spend her birthday with her. We had a great time, and I think it was, I don't know if it was when I was about to leave or after I had given her a present. We hung out for a bit. I don't recall, but she hugged me, and inside, I completely freaked out. I remember thinking, do not show how freaked out you are right now. Just hug her back. Yay! Yes, I'm so happy birthday. It's so great. And and inside, I'm going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because I'm convinced at this point that now we're both going to get the thing. Which we didn't. We were completely fine, but it was a major freak out moment for me. But I'm very proud of myself because I didn't show it, and Mom had no idea. She will now because she'll see this, but that was April 2021, so it's fine. We've hugged a lot since then, and it's fine. We're fine. We've all been vaccinated. We've all gotten our boosters. We're being careful, wearing masks when we go out. I think technically, at least here in North Carolina where I live, you don't have to wear a mask if you have a booster, if you're all vaccinated, but I'm still wearing the mask. Now, of course, they're saying you're supposed to wear the N95s. Like they said, I read somewhere they said that cloth masks are basically useless, which I'm like, I don't think that's accurate, that they're useless, but I don't know. I'm not a scientist. So I'm going to try to get some N95s, but I know that's hard to find because that's what they need, like for professionals and things. But anyway, so that was a big part of 2021. But honestly, for me, 2021 was an amazing year because I got my house. My house. Yay! It's like messy, so you can tell I've been living here for a while because I am a cluttered person. And yeah, it's all cluttered up. Like I've been here for years. But I have not. I moved in late July. And that was huge for me. This is my first and hopefully forever home. I've been living in apartments for a long time. When I moved down here to North Carolina, I got an apartment. And actually, I had no intention of even getting a house at all. But my pastor of my previous church, he was talking about like having a legacy and things like that, and that you want to have something to pass down to the next generation, and talking about what it's great to like own land and like to have something and all of that. And so that kind of got me thinking about it. And then I remember I was visiting some friends up in Maryland, and we were watching HGTV, which I love HGTV, and I don't know, something in me just was like, you know what, you could do this. And I went on like Zillow and just looked up in general house prices in my area here in North Carolina, and it's like, I could totally do that. yeah, so I started saving at that time to get a down payment. I don't remember what year that was. It was a few years ago. And I decided that my goal would be that I wanted to have a house by the time I turned 45, and that I wanted to pay off that house within 20 years by age 65, so that when I retire, I won't have a mortgage. I'll just own the house free and clear. I turned 45 on August 16th, 2021, having moved into this house on July 30th. I mean, perfect timing. It's amazing to me what God can do. And I'm a Christian. I fully believe that God facilitated this whole thing. I prayed about it, and during the process of looking for a house, I was praying and just, is this the right one? What do you want me to do? And just really kind of trying to stay in touch and just trusting in him that he was going to get me a house that I really loved. And I actually ended up putting an offer on a house before this one, and that I liked. I really liked that house, and I didn't get it. And I remember at first, my first reaction was disappointment. I mean, obviously, it's like, well, I didn't get the house. But my second thought was, well, then the house that I get is going to be awesome. Because I really liked that house. And I was like, if God didn't let me have that house, there's another house that he has for me that's going to be even better. And guess what? This house is even better. This house is very much like the house that I didn't get. So it has the components of that house that I liked, but it also has a 2-car garage, which was not on my must-have list, but was definitely on my nice-to-have list for my house. So excited. I love having a garage. So yeah, I love my house. And we had a lot of fun, me and the family, Shawnee, Cliff, and the nephews. That's my sister and brother-in-law, if you don't know. The nephews really helped me to get this house to change, make it my own, right? So we've done a lot with the house. This wall was bright orange before, and it's now that beautiful deep blue. This wall was brown, and it is a lighter blue. So yeah, I like blue. See my furniture. So yeah, so that was really fun. You can watch, I have a series of videos on this channel if you have not watched them yet on making my house a home. So feel free to check out that playlist if you have not already. I will make sure that there is a link to that available to you. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with it, and I'm still loving my house. So yay. The latest purchase is these curtains you can see behind me. Pretty. All right, so I mean, yeah, that was the biggest thing of 2021, obviously, was getting the house. That was huge. It has been a lifelong goal of mine to be a published author. I've been writing as long as I can remember. I remember in middle school, in school, I would have little notebooks that I would scribble little stories in all the time. And that continued through college, through just all the time. I'm always writing. And if I'm not writing, I have stories all the time in my head. I call it my inner mind theater. There's constantly stuff going on up here. But I had never really been able to get anything written down as a book before. I had actually started a fiction novel, and I got stuck, and it just petered out. But what ended up happening, actually in 2020, was that God, first of all, it started with my written blog. I had written a blog entry called 2 Gardens, and it was about the Garden of Eden and the Garden of Gethsemane in the Bible, being the Garden of Eden, that perfect garden that God created, and at first he placed man in at first, and then we got kicked out because of the original sin. And if you're interested, I'm happy to talk through this with you, because I think everyone should know this. But me as a Christian, I'm not going to push it on you, but I'm just saying, if you're interested, ask me and I'll tell you all about it, or read the blog entry, which I will put in the description below. And then the Garden of Gethsemane is where Jesus was praying and just being very upset before the crucifixion, because he knew what was coming, and he was anxious about it, quite frankly. And so the idea of the blog entry was, there's 2 gardens, major gardens in our lives. So you can either be in a really great period in your life, you're in an Eden period, or you can be in a period where you're really having a hard time, you're anxious, you're suffering, you're in Gethsemane. So that was the blog entry. So he gave me that first. It was my highest read blog entry of all time. Over 100 views, which is crazy for me. Most of mine were 16 views, stuff like that. But it had over 100. It was very popular. So then, mid-2020, God said, you're going to turn that into a book. And I said, okay. I just started writing it. So I think every weekend I would sit down and I would say, okay, God, what do you want me to write today? And we would sit down and he would feed me things and I would write it down. And I firmly believe that this entire book was inspired by God. And it's been an amazing experience writing it. And I don't know if you can really even fathom how excited I was when I finished it. Like when I wrote that conclusion and realized, like, I have written a book. It was amazing. So since then I've gone back and I'm continuing to edit it. I've given it to my mom and my sister to look over and kind of give me feedback. Gave it to my pastor, trying to get feedback from him soon. And then, you know, I'm going to continue editing, and then I'm going to, here's where the goal in 2022 comes in. I want to try to get published. So trying to figure out at this point if I should self-publish or if I should be trying to get an agent and trying to like professionally get it published and all of that. So if you're a praying person, pray for me to figure out the right path on that. That is something that I am praying about as well. I'm going to continue editing, continue writing because I have an idea for another book as well. But yeah, I don't really know what my path should be at this point for the writing and getting published. If it should self-publish or professionally published. So if you have any inside contacts for that or any advice for me, please, please, please DM me, shoot me an email, whatever, comment, let me know because I could use the help. So yeah, so okay, so that's a 2022, right? So there's your first thing for 2022. For 2022, one goal is that I want to figure out how to be published and to get published. I like to take walks, so I take about a mile walk. I'm gonna say most days because if the weather's bad, I don't, and some weekends I don't. But anyway, weekdays when the weather is okay, I like to take a mile walk, and while I'm walking, I pray. So it was toward the end of 2021, late October, early November, and I asked God, like, what should I expect? When am I going to get published? When am I going to get a contract? And I'm pretty sure I heard him say a year. It sounds weird if you have never experienced this. You've been praying, and sometimes you hear it as actual words. Sometimes it's a feeling. I really can't describe it if you haven't experienced it. But I felt like he told me a year. So I said, so I'll have a contract by November 2022. And I was sort of like, yeah. So I don't know how that's going to happen. That's part of what I'll be praying about this year as I try to figure out my goals is how am I going to make that happen? And not just how am I going to make that happen, but how is God going to make that happen? Because, you know, you can't just do my belief, again, as a Christian, I can't just try to do everything on my own. I need to make sure that I'm seeking God and doing what he wants me to do so that what he has for me manifests. So I'm going to be staying in prayer about that and seeing how I can get my contract by November 2022. So that's exciting. So you'll have to stay tuned to hear more about that. So that's one of my goals for 2022. I don't really know of other goals yet for 2022, to be honest with you, because I haven't prayed about it yet. And that's very important to me. I really feel that I need to pray and ask God what my goals should be rather than just deciding on my own. So I knew from conversations with God last year that the publishing and that the writing is in fact something that he wants me to do. So I'm fine with setting that goal. Like, let me figure that out. As far as any other goals for the year, I want to do better about connecting with friends. I have one friend here in North Carolina who actually is my hairdresser. So I met her because she was doing my hair, and then we just get along really well. And she's kind of gotten me out of my comfort zone a bit because she did a couple of fashion shows that I modeled in, which was like, if you know me, you would hardly believe I even did that, but I did it twice. And then I stopped. She's had other shows since then, and I haven't done it. I was like, you know what? I did it the one time, and he's playing with the tree. That's all he ever does, by the way. I have never worried about him actually knocking it down or anything, which is good. But I'm keeping an eye on him. Anyway, yeah, I haven't done any shows after those two, and to be honest with you, I don't really have a desire to at this point. I feel like, you know what? I did it. I proved that I could do it, but it's not really my thing. So I support her with her shows, and you know, she does an amazing job, but I don't know that I would model again in them. But anyway, so she's a great friend. And then I have another friend from church who I would say is on her way to being a friend. Like, we haven't actually really hung out, but I think both of us have expressed an interest in doing so. So looking forward to spending some more time with her. And then I have not met any of my neighbors, because I'm not the kind of person who just like goes over to someone's house and is like, "Hi, I'm your neighbor." I'm an introvert. I am fine just being in this house all the time. And it's just, I know that's bad. I should get out. But the idea of just going over to a neighbor's house and like knock, knock, hi, like, absolutely not. No, I'm not doing that. And none of them came to me either, so it's not all on me. But I should probably get to know some neighbors. I'll have to figure out how to do that in a way that doesn't feel like forced or weird. Honestly, not sure how that's going to be. But anyway, so that's a goal, to meet more people, to hang out more with the people that I know. And beyond that, I don't know. We'll have to see. I will definitely be praying about it this month and all the time, making sure to stay in prayer. My pastor this month is talking about making sure, like, his focus for the month is that we all hear from God this month. We all hear a word from God on exactly what it is that he wants us to do this year. So I will be focusing on that, and hopefully I'll have something to tell you soon about what I hear from God. And I guess the last thing I will tell you is that we are in consecration right now for church. So my previous church and my current church do a consecration, which is basically at the beginning of the year, we fast and pray as a way to draw closer to God. My previous church, it was almost the full month, basically, almost the full month of January. My current church only does 21 days, but I'm going to try to make it for all of January. The idea of it is that as Christians, we're meant to tithe 10% of our income to God, to our church, to help God's work be done on the earth. And so this is a way of tithing 10% of our time in addition to our treasure. So I don't fast like fully with food because I'm borderline underweight, and that would be a bad idea. So what I did fast from is desserts and alcohol. I'm not a big drinker. I would occasionally have a little bit of wine here and there, but I gave that up too. So no desserts for me. And I have discovered that when I'm not allowed to have dessert, it just makes me want to eat more food, which is weird for me because for a long time with the anxiety, I had zero appetite. Like, eating was a chore, basically. And now that I'm doing so much better, I actually have like a normal appetite, and it's weird to me. I'm like, why do I just want to eat stuff? It's weird. Yeah. So I told my mom and my sister yesterday, like, having a normal appetite is annoying. Like, how do people deal with this? So, yeah. I understand normal people so much more now. People who have trouble, like, not snacking. I get it now. I never understood it before because I had no appetite. Now I'm like, I just want some popcorn or like some chocolate or something. And I can't have the chocolate, so I go for the popcorn. But yeah, so that's fun. So yeah, you'll have to keep me accountable throughout the month of January. I'm hoping to do like a vlog every week. So I'll update you and make sure that we've stayed off the chocolate for all of January. And my secondary goal for that is that I don't go crazy with sweets on February 1st. Because I could see that happening. Like, I'm allowed to eat chocolate now. Let's not do that. So, anyway, that's that. I rambled a lot. This is probably going to be a super long video. I'll try to cut it down. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. This little glimpse into my life and how I think. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, then tune in as I continue to record these in the future, and let me know if there's anything specific topics that you want me to talk about. As I said, I'll put the link to my Two Gardens blog entry in the description below, and then from there, if you're interested in reading any other blog entries, feel free. But yeah, I'm excited about 2022. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you had a good 2021 and that your 2022 will be happy healthy, and blessed. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.